This very story that we continue to follow on CNN News 18. Now there is a statement that has been made by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He goes on to attack the Congress after Mallikarjun Kharge had cautioned the states in which Congress was in power over the guarantees. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi goes on to say that the Congress party is realizing the hard way that making unreal promises is easy, but implementing them properly is tough or nearly impossible. And these are the statements of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, where he calls out, quote unquote, the fake promises of the Congress party, he says. Let me take this across to my colleague Aman Sharma for more details. Aman, now that the Prime Minister has gone on to raise that accusatory finger at the Congress party, this was only a given because more and more ministers, in fact, had started to speak up after this word of caution by the Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge, something that even if he's going on to caution, let's say, the state of Maharashtra, it's also in a sense an admission of guilt over the Congress guarantee that have failed in other states where Congress is in power.
Well, absolutely, Akanksha, and this has been the constant campaign of the BJP and also reflected in the words of the Prime Minister that this policy of freebie politics by the Congress is not good economically for any state. The Prime Minister now launching an all-out attack on the Congress party ahead of the Jharkhand and the Maharashtra elections, where he's saying that the Congress party is realizing that the unreal promises, making them is easy, but implementing them is impossible. He's citing the case of Himachal Pradesh, Karnataka, Telangana, where the Congress governments are finding it extremely tough to fulfill the so-called guarantees that they had offered, like free power, an allowance for women every month, other promises which were offered. None of them have been able to be effectively rolled on the ground. That the BJP claim is. The Prime Minister also saying that the trajectory and the fiscal health of the state is turning from bad to worse. These guarantees remain unfulfilled. In Karnataka especially, the Prime Minister is saying that Congress is busy in inter-party politics and loot instead of delivering on development. In Himachal Pradesh, the Prime Minister has pointed out recently how the salaries of government workers was not paid on time. In Telangana, he's saying the farmers are still waiting for the loan waiver that they were promised during the elections. Earlier also the Prime Minister saying in Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan, when the Congress was in power, certain allowances which were promised were never implemented for 5 years. So in a way, the Prime Minister, ahead of the Maharashtra and the Jharkhand elections, where the Congress is again getting ready to offer guarantees to people, again going to offer promises in the next few days to the electorate in Maharashtra and Jharkhand, the Prime Minister giving out this warning that the Congress promises are never fulfilled on the ground. In fact, they push the states into more fiscal deficit and more fiscal blunders.
Right, Aman, this is Griha here. I also want to understand this one aspect. When Mallikarjun Kharge really made these statements, the fact that he was going on to caution Congress party ahead of assembly elections in the state of Maharashtra, this was also in a sense, considering this was a public statement that obviously was going to be put out in front of the media, was he not ready for the brickbats? Because, and like I mentioned, he had really given it out on a platter to the Bharatiya Janata Party, and that is the reason good enough why such a response and a strong statement like this one has been made by Prime Minister?
Well, absolutely, Griha. What Mallikarjun Kharge has said also highlights maybe the conflict, inside the Congress ranks on this so-called guarantee model, because the party makes these guarantees when the elections happen, but ultimately it is the Congress governments which have to fulfill them, and when they start fulfilling them, they realize that the fiscal burden with which these guarantees come, certain schemes costing nearly 20,000 to 30,000 crores. Obviously, the governments are not able to fulfill them, and then the public anger comes and the governments are questioned in this matter. The Congress has faced this not just in Karnataka, even in Telangana and Himachal Pradesh. So that is why I think Mallikarjun Kharge's statement is also exposing, in a way, the difficulties that the party and the state government are facing to be on the same page when it comes to implementing these guarantees which are offered in the elections. And that is why we see the Prime Minister leaving no chance to expose the Congress party on the same, and in fact putting the Congress party on the back foot now. The Bill the Congress party offered these big guarantees in Maharashtra and Jharkhand elections as well. or will it desist from the same, looking at the record it has in the earlier three states of Telangana, Himachal and Karnataka? Yeah.
Right, Aman, thank you so much for offering that perspective on this big story that we're tracking on CNN News 18. With that, let me take this across to Mr. R.P. Singh of the Bharatiya Janata Party, who's joining us this evening. Mr. Singh, thank you so much for being a part of this conversation. A happy Diwali to you. Your reaction on what Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge has said, and of course what the Prime Minister has now responded to after this word of caution that was in fact thrown in by the Congress President.
Well, you should always commit that much you can fulfill. I mean, you should check your pocket before you make commitments. And this has happened in Karnataka, in Telangana and Himachal, all the three states. Promises were made. Now they are finding it difficult to fulfill the promises. And also that on ground, the development work has stopped altogether. And there is the statement of the leader saying that development work can wait, we have to continue with the schemes. And also that they're not able to continue with the schemes. I mean, Centre also announces schemes, but each scheme is implemented. That Centre ensures that each scheme is implemented, whether it is 5 kg ration to poor or whether it is giving roof to the poor, 4.5 crore poor have got the roof now, or whether it is the clean water, or whether it is the toilets, whether it is the Ujjwala scheme. So every scheme of the Centre which has been announced, but every scheme has been provided for. The problem with the states are that they don't provide for and they announce schemes.
Right. And why do you think, Mr. R.P. Singh, the Congress president really had to make this entire word of caution into a public speech? Because it also is a smelling of trouble within the ranks of the Congress party. Many leaders probably not really seeing eye to eye when it is about the kind of announcements the party is supposed to make ahead of elections, or probably in lieu of wanting the votes. Don't you think that also, lays exposed while the statement really is out in the public?
Well, there's a tug of war going between Priyank Kharge and Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah, we all know that. And then there's the race for the leadership or the chief ministership in the state. And since Siddaramaiah is deeply involved into a lot of corruption cases and the other two are fishing for it, and that's why there's some sort of a cleft support to Mr. Priyank Kharge in the state, and that's why he has pulled up the state for not fulfilling the promises. So there's clearly see that there's a tug of war between the state. There is one man upship within the state of Karnataka, and that's coming out in open now. And then especially the chief of the party is leading that now, and then exposing his party now.
Mr. Singh, I'd request you to stay on with us. Priyank Kharge of the Congress party is with us now on the broadcast. Priyank, there was an attack that has been leveled right against you. Your name has been taken. Favoritism charges by Karnataka Congress, especially DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah for you, and a word of caution there by Mallikarjun Kharge. How does one take this sort of a response that is coming in, as far as the Congress party? Of course, isn't it that there is ammunition that has been given on a platter to the Bharatiya Janata Party, considering the reactions that we are seeing after the statement that has been made by Mallikarjun Kharge?
See, I don't think BJP has ever understood economics extremely well. And the last decade of Modinomics is the reason why we are in the economic state of affairs we are in the country, number one. And Mr. Kharge has very categorically implied and told very openly, saying that there should be a healthy balance between welfare and development so that investments come in and employment is created. Is that not a sane advice to give? And let us just turn the pages just a couple of months back. If you remember, the same Modi ji was saying Modi ki guarantee, na? Then what is Ladli Behna in Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra doing? That is not Revadi. Whenever they do it, it is master strokes. Whenever Congress is delivering on guarantees, they have a problem with it. They can't see this socio and economic empowerment happening with the people. That is the problem with them. Where the promises that have not been delivered by BJP, they will not speak about it. Where are the 2 crore jobs? Where are the smart cities? Where is after 10 years of Make in India, what is the manufacturing output? What is the rupee versus dollar rate now? Are they ready to debate it? One press conference, I challenge the Prime Minister for one press conference on the state of economics on Modi ji ki guarantee versus Congress ki guarantee. Is he ready to do that in an open press conference?
Right. Mr. Kharge, we seem to have lost Mr. R.P. Singh right now, but I'd like to ask you this question. Like, and this is a pertinent point that you're making, that when it is a guarantee that has been given by the Bharatiya Janata Party, how is it justified and not something similar by the Congress Party? But I do want to ask you this: the fact that when the tables are turned and the accusatory stance is by the Bharatiya Janata Party, why at all is the Congress Party or the leaders of the Congress Party really not able to strongly defend it, and they go on with this escalation of the accusation and no pertinent points really coming from your side?
What is the accusation? Tell me. And what is the pertinence you're looking at? And tell me one thing that I said was illogical.
No, that's why I said I totally agree to the points. No, that's why I mentioned that these are some strong points that you're making. However, something similar is not really being backed by the statements after the statements of senior Congress leaders. And here, when we take a look,
I am the government,
if we take
I am
a look,
the official
yes,
government spokesperson. I am the cabinet minister. I am stating this. What other strong voice do you need?
Okay, let's